Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Hell. It's me, Robinson, and I put bull semen in my protein shake for that extra testosterone.
And it's me, Stanley, a mortal shell of what I once was, but I'm still around for some reason.
What were you at one point?
Dude,
like a past life?
Dude, I don't even know. Fuck, man. Like, it's just everywhere. It's there. We're here. We're somewhere. The last 4 years aged me 35 years. So, hey, we're going strong. We're going strong. I'm not going to question whatever demon or god makes me live. But you know what? I'm okay with it, I guess. So.
For me, I think in my past life, I was rich because today at Smith's, this lady was giving out samples of a dip. And it was really good. It's smoked Gouda cheese dip. And it was so good. I got one. I picked up a box of Ritz crackers. I started eating them when I got home. And I felt fancy. I felt fancy as hell. Like, oh yes, the charcuterie is so great. These are cauliflower crackers that we harvested from the plains of the Amazon.
Great. I mean, hey, dude, like, honestly, fucking Gouda is the shit. Like, I don't care what the fuck you think, but Gouda is... I used to, when I was a kid, actually take Gouda and slice it and then put it on crackers, and that would be my snack. And then I just would forget to eat later because I was just like, I'm satisfied. So, fuck normal dinner. Cheese and cracker dinner is the recipe of my people. So,
bro, I honestly, I finally understand Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. Oh, that was a cracker.
Nah, dude, I don't think you ever understand Wallace unless you're British.
I can't. My teeth are too nice. So, anyway.
Are you trying to flex on 7-year-old me with my fucked up British teeth or my Irish teeth, I guess? Because, dude, I had braces for like 9 years. So
I had a retainer for like 2 whole school semesters, and it was awful.
Oh no. I mean, it is, because it's just like this thing of plastic that's just in your fucking, like, metal and plastic that's in your mouth. So
yeah, it clicks into place like a seatbelt to the roof of your mouth, and it like pinches the end of your teeth, and you talk like this because there's no way for your tongue to go up.
Yeah, you got like the classic nerd syndrome. Sounds like, we need to beat the nerd out of you is what things happen. I don't know.
That's exactly what it was. You know how funny it is taking excuse me. You know how funny it is taking
yes,
a
I know
retainer
that's
out.
Really funny. Okay.
Taking your retainer out to go play football.
Yeah, no. I mean,
I had to like wrap that thing up in like 7 paper towels. Because like
towels?
you can't put it on the bench because somebody's gonna sit on it, and there's grass and mud everywhere, and I gotta put that thing back in my mouth as soon as because I was always on defense. I'm a big guy. I'm on defense.
Yeah.
And so every time I get off, I have to put the retainer back in my mouth.
You didn't have like any one of those like little plastic cases? The one that's that's kind of a, what is it?
I know what you're talking about, but I think I lost it.
You lost it. Okay, because that one was
I'm pretty sure I lost it.
That one was it was so good. But yeah, dude, I remember because this shows you kind of the neighborhood that I grew up in. Our dentist had like this little thing where you could actually get like a Plasta Dip or a Plasta Drip or something on your fucking retainer. So you could get like camo or something else like on the inside of your retainer and shit. It was so fucking cool. Like, I remember I went hard on a Pikachu one. So they had like a little bit of a Pikachu, like an off-brand Pikachu, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. Fuck, I want this one. So, and how would the other kids know, right? Unless I fucking took it out and showed it to them, which, was never. So
now nobody will know how big of a nerd I am.
Yeah, it's like getting the tattoo on the bottom of your tongue, right? No one will ever fucking know unless you fucking show it to them. So,
I think one of the nerdiest things possible is like having your name be like a video game character name. For example, not Doug Bowser, Gary Bowser.
I feel like
he's
going to do some fucking criminal shit, right? Anyone with the last name Bowser just inherently speaks to me as criminal, right?
Well, it's true in the case of our Gary because Gary recently got 3 years of prison over a Nintendo Switch hacking scheme. Long story short, Gary Bowser, no relation to Doug Bowser or King Koopa, has been sentenced to more than 3 years of prison for his role in the Team Executor hacking scheme, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. Basically, what he was doing, he was selling hacking products, right? Like he'll hack your Switch if you pay him. He'll have tools to play pirated games if you pay him, all that. Because the issue with hacking, the big issue is making money off of it, right?
Yeah. Well,
because if you're not making money off of it, you can like, oh, it's just a hobby, and you can be like safe.
Oh,
but if you're distributing and like accepting payments, then Japan's gonna try to kill you.
I just don't know like when Japan copyright ends, right? Because obviously like copyright rules are different between here and Japan. I mean, did you ever see that story of like the YouTuber that got 3,500 like strikes from Nintendo? Even though he was like reviewing Nintendo products, they still striked him for his like use of music. I was like, yo.
No, but I heard of this exact same story, but instead of Nintendo, it was this guy, totally not Mark, and he was striked like over 120 videos because he was like an anime discussionist.
Oh right, because of the Toei.
Yeah,
the Toei animation.
Yeah, Toei.
Yeah, that happened like around Christmas break, I want to say, or something like that. Like just around that season.
Yeah, it happened. It happened like later last year.
Yeah, because I remember thinking of that and I was just like, yo, what the fuck? How are y'all gonna do this, right? Like, especially with the whole fact of like they would just strike it, and I guess it kind of highlights the thing of, our first like strike on Twitch was essentially we were just playing a fucking game and a song came on that was in the game. Neither of us were playing it. No one really knew that the song was going to come on because
it was like a 1 hour and 40-minute clip, 3 minutes of it deemed illegal.
I know, right? It was not even like anything that we had done purposefully wrong. We were just playing a fucking game, and I was like, okay, yo, why? Like, it's not my job. That's the thing.
You know what it is? It's literally the story of holes, because Stanley's Yell Nuts didn't do shit. Those shoes fell on top of his head. This is what happened to us. We didn't do shit. The song just started playing.
I feel like Shia LaBeouf should be copyrighted for his Just Do It campaign, back in 2012. Have you ever seen
I remember that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember that.
My wife and I would just be sitting there, and all of a sudden I'd just get up from the couch, and she'd be like, where are you going? And I'm like, just do it! And it would just do the flexing part, and it would like...
Oh, hell yeah.
Don't let your dreams be memes. Do it.
Just do it, Gary Bowser. Mm-hmm. Do it.
Well, I mean, like, here's the thing, right? Is it's really complicated, especially when you're thinking about, okay, so we have copyright, but we also have the right to buy things, right? Because you have companies like Tesla and like Toyota that are now like bricking things because if you do like the repair yourself, it's going to be fucked up, right? Or even John Deere. Like farmers are actually hiring hackers to go out into the fucking country and hack tractors that have software on them so that they can like get around the whole like, this is not an original part. You need a blah, 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 blah. Spend millions of dollars more on top of this tractor to get it fixed. So,
oh god.
Yeah.
You don't want to piss off farmers. They're the people who do something when they're mad.
Well,
they don't have Twitter.
It's not even just that. When you buy a product, right? Obviously, it's you bought it, and I hate this whole thing that companies are trying to do where it's like you buy to rent. Like, I just want to own my product. It's mine. I bought it. That was the agreement that we paid for. And I know some people are probably going to be like, well, you don't understand software. And I'm like, you're right, I don't. Because that's ridiculous to even think that there would be even a live service for anything. I buy something. Let me play with it. Let me do whatever the fuck I want with it. If I buy 4 Blu-ray copies of, I don't know, whatever the fuck, like My Little Pony, and I want to fucking shoot them, let me fucking shoot them. It's not a renting situation in this scenario.
I like to think that you're such a good shot that you throw all 4 discs of My Little Pony in the air, and when you shoot them, it goes right through the middle.
Well, I actually used to do competitive skeet shooting.
Oh, that's sick. That's actually the most Texan thing I've heard.
It's the
Yeah, I
only, it's
actually
the
used to
only
do
real
that.
like Texan thing that like I can really identify with, honestly. So
Oh, that and carne asada fries. We got to thank the Tex-Mex for carne asada fries.
yes, thank you, Texas, for making something I can't eat.
Well, it's not about you. It's about me.
Well, you're right. It's not, right? I guess. This is just the Robinson show. I'm just kind of sitting over here in the corner like a fucking taunted child.
Just like a chain around the neck.
A little dunce hat, just like, please, sir, can I please move? I need to go use the restroom. Shut up! I'm not
Please, sir. Please let me have an extra hour of CNN every night.
Dude, fuck CNN. I don't fucking CNN. AP News, baby. Associated Press.
All right.
Still.
AP News.
So, Doug is now in jail for 3 years.
Not Doug, Gary.
Gary.
Doug owns Nintendo of America.
Whatever. Like, Doug is such a fucking, like, whitey white boy name. And so is Gary. Like, Gary, they're both,
What's wrong with Doug and Gary?
They're, like, so interchangeable, too. Like, if you introduce me to someone, they're like, this is Gary. I'm like, okay. And then you introduce me to someone, they're like, this is Doug. I would get them confused.
Well, you know what? I disagree because there are 2 iconic Dougs and Garys. Doug from Up and Gary the Snail from SpongeBob. But they're not human, so...
What about Doug Funny from Nickelodeon? You're just going to forget that one? You know?
Oh my god, you're right.
Our nerdy king. The pinnacle of, like, young adult cartoons in, like, the late 90s, early 2000s? No. Well, you know what? I'm not going to say it anymore. Fuck Doug.
Aw.
No.
But I think my favorite thing about this is Nintendo got on its knees and started performing for the United States justice system. Just like, just praising and kissing the feet. Saying things like, we really appreciate what the United States justice system has done in order to stop illegal copyright and piracy. Great job.
Yo, like, what the fuck? It's so weird. Oh,
Bro,
all hail our corporate overlords. Thank you, American government. You saved us $20. Like, that's it. Damn.
And it's just don't forget to drop something off in collections.
Yeah, well,
how do you think we pay for this wine?
Yeah, I mean, it really shouldn't hurt them anyways because the Nintendo Switch is actually doing quite well. One of our news articles that I was going to go over is actually that, according to The Verge, that Nintendo Switch is now actually officially outsold the Wii. Let's get a round of applause for Nintendo. You did it again. Thank you, Nintendo. Yay! You did it. Congratulations. Actually, that's actually pretty exciting because, I don't know, I like the Switch. It's a good product. It's a great thing. It is.
Me too. I guess I that gives me a bittersweet feeling because like the Wii, that was like my life-changing moment as a child. I remember it so well.
Yeah.
So many good years. Like it brought me and my sisters closer. It was like the first time my mom even entertained the idea of playing video games with me. So like I'm happy that the Switch is doing well, but that just brings back memories of my Wii.
Okay. So I want you to guess, right? We're going to play the game of guess how many Switches were sold. It is a one-time game, and it's a game I made up, and there are no rules to it. So, how many games or Nintendo Switches do you think were sold between October and December?
Of last year?
Yeah, 2021.
347 million.
10.67 million.
Damn it.
10.67 million.
I overshot.
10.67 million units were sold. So, how many were actually done for the Wii? Like, how many units over the Wii's lifespan were done?
347 million.
No, dude, what the fuck? That's way too... No console has ever sold that much, my guy. Like, come on.
37 million.
101.63 million.
Okay.
So, in 5 years, the Nintendo Switch, which, Jesus fucking Christ, it's been 5 years since that thing came out. In 5 years... it sold 103.54 million units shipped.
Well, yeah, it's like you said, it's just a good console. They stopped doing because like they revolutionized with the Wii, and then with the Wii U, they were like, "Can we revolutionize again?" They couldn't, and so with the Switch, it's like, you know what? Let's stop trying to revolutionize. Let's just do what's good and what we have been doing.
Yeah.
Because I'd say the only thing revolutionary about the Switch is the HD Rumble. Like, if you've played 1-2 Switch, the HD Rumble is like magic. It's insane
Yeah.
how accurate that thing is.
Yeah.
But then again, like, I say 1-2 Switch and Mario Party are literally the only games that that use the HD Rumble function. So far, I have not had another game that has used it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not into the gimmicky stuff for Nintendo. I'm just looking for a portable console, right? And something to play Monster Hunter with, something to avoid talking to my coworkers, something there, right? But think about that,
Pull it out the pocket.
right? So, just a basic Nintendo Switch. We're not even talking about the OLED, right? Right now, it's $375 at Walmart. So,
Wait, the Switch?
yeah.
Wait, no, I thought it was 300 base.
No, it's $375 at Walmart. That's what I'm seeing on
Since
Google.
when?
Well, let's look at GameStop. So if you get the Nintendo Switch Lite, it's $199.
Yeah, exactly. So
But
it should
if
be
you get
$299.
like just the base Nintendo Switch, like not the OLED, just the next one up, right? So the red box Switch right now is $375. So it's $375, and we're gonna multiply that by, I don't know, what was it, 10 million?
Yeah, but no, no, hang on. Since when was it $75 extra?
Because of like inflation and price increases. There's a semiconductor shortage,
boo.
Robinson. Like, why do you think like on Stock X, like things are still just fucking insane? Like when it comes to pricing.
All right, but I will say this: on Amazon, you can get the Animal Crossing Switch for $300, not the $375. Fuck you, Walmart.
So, $375, right, just for the original base. And if we were just to do it as that, then like average, right? Average would be $3.75 billion.
Ooh, that's a lot of cheese. That's a lot. That's a lot of gold coins that Papa Shigeru can go swimming in.
Yo, I mean, it's a good amount of money, right? Like $3.75 billion dollars, right? That's fucking insane. That is insane. So, still, and my math is probably on because fuck you, I'm a historian, not a mathematician. So, still, but like Sony, for example, like announced basically that it only shipped 3.9 million PS5s between the same quarter that Nintendo sold 10. So,
Yeah, but that's because I can't fucking find PS5s anywhere.
I know. Well, I mean, like I told you, just go to their website and sign up for the queue.
That is true.
Because it'll take 2 weeks, but it's like 2 weeks, or I don't know, wait till the PS6 comes out. I'm not joking. That's your option,
I know.
right?
Can't wait for that to get scalped too, baby.
Well, because scalpers are fucking ruining everything, especially because, like, what is it? It was graphics cards, and it's, PS5s and Xbox. Even fucking shoes, right? The, like, Reebok shoes or, like, the Air Jordans. People just fucking scalp them. It's fucking, like, horrendous. But, I mean, at least we're not getting the flack that Best Buy is getting right now. Because they're, like, if you don't know, Best Buy introduced a $200 a year premium membership called Total Tech. And
I thought you were going to say Geek Squad.
No. Just Total Tech, right? So,
All right, Total Tech.
Total Tech, customers have access to like a special protection program, 24/7 tech support, or even Apple Core service, which is really expensive, right? It's basically like, I burned my entire house down, my iPad doesn't work. Give me a new one. So, Total Tech...
You can live in this thing. You can sell it and buy another house.
It also kind of brings access to, like, what is it, exclusive stuff, right? So, Best Buy became an exclusive reseller of the NVIDIA GTX GeForce RTX 30 Founders Edition cards. So, what happened is that a lot of people got really angry, right? Because the Founders Edition cards should now technically have, like, a new MSRP, even if you have the Total Tech. But the program was never really intended, because at first it was intended to be like, hey, fuck scalpers, right? Best Buy was like getting brownie points, but also getting kind of comforted on because, people were making fun of the fact that they were selling like an exclusive club. $200 a year is a fucking lot of money. So
It is, and it's like, who are you with in there, right? Like, it's not like this is an exclusive club. We all own yachts.
no,
It's not like that.
it's
It's people
fucking
like me.
gamers. It's like gamers, right? So
Exactly. It's people like me and you.
it's yeah, like so the program was never actually really intended to fix the problem like of availability or just kind of to fight scalpers. Customers were actually allowed to buy multiple cards as long as there were not the same edition models, right? So in the end, some people bought as many as like 7 different fucking graphics cards, including custom editions that were like, made to get that extra FPS on your, like game. So, yeah. There you go. So scalpers have essentially like gamed the system, right? Because if you pay $200 to Best Buy, you could just take down on a credit card like 8 different graphics cards and then sell them twice the rate, right?
Dude, exactly. That then the membership cost is nothing.
Yeah, right? Because your profit that you're getting from this is fucking insane. So, yeah, scalpers, go fuck yourself. I hope you burn in fucking hell, you fucking pieces of shit.
Hey, well, we got another. So right there, what you saw is Stanley in his angry nerd mode, and I got another news story.
It happens quite a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fucking angry person on the inside, for some reason.
Well, don't worry, because there are at least 70,000 others like you.
Oh,
Specifically, Battlefield 2042. We talked about this, how like it was god awful at launch, but like you said, it's a dice game. It's supposed to be god awful at launch. That's the tradition.
yeah. Like, no dice game is good at launch. Like, it's always going to be buggy as shit. And you kind of expect them to go in and be like, life-saving patch, like an adrenaline to the fucking heart. So, did they fix it? Did they not? What happened? Tell me the story. I want to hear.
So it's not fixed yet, unfortunately. But there is a petition. A petition that has over 70,000 signatures, 70K, basically demanding refunds for the game.
All right. Hey,
So
I can get behind that. I agree with him. It's a shitty game. Mm-hmm. Right.
So looking at it right now, it has about 70,000 confirmed signatures, 75,000 signatures in total. And part of the petition reads this. According to many consumer reports, Electronic Arts and DICE did not keep many promises made at launch, and Battlefield 2042 was launched as unplayable. And it just goes on. Signing this petition will get you one step closer to getting a refund on Battlefield 2042. And I'm just shocked.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked that there are this many people angry about the game.
Yeah, I mean, like it's.
I mean, I can get it, but
like if you spend it on like a PS5, right? It's $70 now. It's no longer $60. They increase the game. So if I'm paying $70,
wait, they increased the price after launch?
No, like they increase the price generally of all PS5 games.
All right.
And Xbox games too. Like,
hey.
Yeah, it was like a big deal when it happened. People were like freaking out, just kind of like, "Yo, we're paying $70, and you're giving us literally a broken fucking piece of shit, right? So what the fuck am I gonna do with this? This is nothing. Why would you give this to me, right? It's like I'm just gonna pay $70 for someone to spit in my face." Which
Don't worry, we're all on it. We're using the SpongeBob Learn to Program video game that came out in 2002. That's how we made the engine for this game.
Wait, is there an actual SpongeBob Learn to Program game?
No, but there are a surprising amount of Learn to Program video games, and I played a lot of them as a kid.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of because there was like side note, obviously, right? I was thinking of getting this game that would actually, it was a JRPG, but it would teach you Spanish along the way. Because you play 100 hours in like a JRPG, right? Minimum 100 hours. And so like it just progressively gets more and more and more like Spanish and less English. So I felt like that was actually pretty good because that's one of the ways that I learned German was just watching video game or watching like YouTube and playing video games and reading comic books in German. So,
That actually, yeah, that makes sense. And you can hire me as every voice actor. The classes are frijolero, luchador, mariachi, that's a support class. Um, sicario, that's a DPS
oh
class.
my God.
Ooh.
Just make a D&D homebrew of like, we're going to Mexico.
and, and all the enemies are the multiple animals you will encounter and several cartels.
Oh shit! And then when you die, like a hairless dog takes you to the underworld.
And how they do that is they just feed on your corpse.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, right? But still, I
Oh,
okay.
talking about feeding on corpses, have you heard about Activision?
When have I not? Like that's gonna be we've fucking talked shit about them all the time, and EA, right? Again, going back to that story before I can let you continue.
Go
EA
ahead.
did the exact same thing with Star Wars Battlefront 2, right? It was
Yep.
supposed to be a better game, and it looked great, and then when it came out, EA basically fucked it up, right? Star Wars video games, if you make them halfway decent, they'll be okay, and fans will like them. Like, look at Jedi Fallen Order. It is a decent game. It's not great, it's not bad, but it's better than what the fuck they've been putting out.
I
So,
like I like that they had subtitles for your little robots.
yeah. It just
They
said
had a
beep,
lot of
right?
subtitles. Yeah. There was a man who got paid more than me to write all that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, or probably not enough, right? Considering that EA also classically underpays their workers. So,
Good
point
point.
is, companies fucking suck. I don't know. That's my issue. But still, go ahead before I continue to burst a brain aneurysm. So,
Oh, we don't want that. That's 50% of my potential income if we ever get brand ambassading. But so Microsoft recently bought Activision. And in an article by VGC, Microsoft is watching Activision's executives so the right people are in power after its acquisition. President Smith
how do you spell that?
asterisk BURP asterisk.
Oh, okay. All right.
President Brad Smith says he's keeping a close eye on how the current leadership team handles ongoing harassment issues at Activision, which I just think is so funny.
You know what? Fucking good. Fucking good. Like, Jesus. Like, how did it take this long? Like, oh my God. Kick them out. Kick them all out. Like, I don't know. Don't kick them out. Just throw them off the building. Like, just...
I don't think it's been like they haven't done it. I think it's more like, oh yeah, don't worry, we are doing this. So basically, Microsoft publicly said like, oh yeah, we are looking at them heavily. Like they are on 24-hour surveillance. A direct quote by President Brad Smith. I think if there's one thing that we've learned about addressing issues like sexual harassment or almost any issue of culture for people, it really requires a combination of commitment and humility. You got to be committed to making things better.
Yeah.
And they're doing that by making sure that these motherfuckers are not doing nothing.
Yeah. Dude, that's such a low bar to set, right? Like we've said multiple times, how easy is it not to touch someone? How easy is it not to say something to someone? Literally, it is nothing versus something. So, and we're always doing nothing. So I just don't get it. I don't get why you would do that to your employees. I don't get why you would do that fucking shit. But still, at least there's some kind of like skin in the game here for the CEOs.
Yeah. And like, I mean, if the office is a moving bus, I can understand how there would be some inappropriate touching by accident, of course. The road gets bumpy. But Activision, no excuse. And Microsoft.
But not to the point that one of the executives' office is called the Cosby Suite. Like, yo, yeah, like, why? Right?
Well,
like that's
because
kind of a little too far. Like that's not the accidental. Oops! Oh my God! I accidentally touched your boob. It's no. That is like the hard grab, right? That's like a Trumpy kind of grab.
Well, that's because That's because the bus driver really likes Bing Crosby, and we just spelled it wrong. It's a jazz bus, baby.
It's a jazz bus where drugs are free and alcohol is free and sex is semi-consensual. I don't know, dude. Party buses. Where did they go? They were like all the big craze. Now they're gone.
Well, I think alcohol in moving vehicles were just, it fell out of style.
Well,
I don't know why.
that was the whole point, is that you had a designated bus driver. Because it's a party bus.
Exactly. They're the ones that got fed up. They don't want to be driving around these idiots.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I can 100% see that happening. Some drunk bitch just like drapes herself over the bus driver. Hey, you should take a photo with me.
Yo.
I can 100% see that happening. Oh, speaking of sexual harassment, it's not just a physical thing. It happens in the corporeal, the virtual.
Okay. Is that my cue? Is that what I'm doing now?
Well, it's not a cue if you say, is that my cue? I worked hard for that.
So, Meta, right? The company formerly known as Facebook, which, fuck Facebook and fuck Meta, is putting a stop to virtual groping in its metaverse by creating a 4-foot safety bubble around the avatars.
I knew it. I fucking knew this would happen. Day one, I knew this would happen.
Well, like, think about, what is it? If you've ever tried VR chat, there's some fucking weirdos out there, and they will fucking grope you too, or like at least put like their body right on top of you, and it's kind of weird. So, yeah.
When there's this game Echo VR, which is basically space zero gravity football with a frisbee. Super fun. In-game, pre-game lobbies.
Yeah.
Literally, people would just latch themselves onto me and just go like...
I don't know.
And it was like 7-year-olds.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. They maybe just been enjoying like the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, but they can do it on the other side of the map.
I mean, low were the days when the Xbox controller had that like audio port, and you would just hear like the sounds of the apocalypse on your teeth. Just like some kid like, "Mom, turn off the vacuum cleaner," or dogs barking, or some kind of fucking like wherever around you. You're just like, "Oh, great. I am playing with someone who can't drive," right?
Exactly. And it's like, and in VR, it's like, for some reason, these games, like when they come out, they don't implement like a mute button or a solo button, which is like, it's something that I think everything should have. Everything should have a mute button and like, don't let this person touch me button. And I called it immediately because I do the same thing. Literally every time there's a dead body, I spank it. Doesn't matter what I have. If I have a gun, I spank it with the gun.
Every time you see a dead body, you spank it.
In VR, absolutely.
Yes, in VR, of course.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft, yeah. Dude.
Bro, like, if I have a sword, I'm spanking the body with my sword. If I have an axe, I try to split it directly in the crack. If I have a hammer, I wind up so hard and I come down on that booty.
Man, you know what's the great thing about that axe, though? Is that it's already pre-cracked for you. Right? So, yeah, but still. So Meta, right, has responded to reports of virtual sexual harassment in Metaverse by limiting how close avatars can get to each other. In January, a 43-year-old British woman claimed she was virtually groped by a gang of male avatars in Horizon venues. In December, a woman claimed she was virtually groped in Horizon venues. Vivek Sharma, the vice president of Horizon, said in a blog post Friday that personal boundary would create more safe space for people and making it easier to avoid unwanted interactions.
Yes, you dumb fucking assholes. You knew this was good. Don't tell me we expected people to be good. It's the fucking internet.
Yeah, like, so there are also other things about, like, although personal boundary will be turned on by default, users can still be able to high five and fist bump by extending their arms. So,
I think you need a friends list, and if somebody's on your friends list, they can be in your bubble.
So here's my question.
That's what I think.
Here's my question to all this. How did they not think that this was going to be a thing in the first place?
Because they're fucking morons.
Yeah.
Like literally every game every VR game I played that's online that has voice chat, I have been like molested by. They all sound like they're 12. They sound like children.
Yo, dude, children are vicious, man. Like children of the corn, children everywhere. Do they just fucking get up on your shit?
Yeah, exactly. And it's always the same noises because they, I will put money down that they've never kissed a woman in real life, so it's always.
You know what that smacking noise is? It's the smacking noise of Meta's corporate downfall. Because, dude, like, side note, right? Did you hear about the fact that they, like, slumped February 3rd? And February 3rd, they lost nearly $240 billion from its value.
Good. And oh man, I should have made this one of my stories, but the European nation was like, yo, you need to like cut down on this information stealing, and Facebook was like, but if the European Union doesn't like get rid of this anti-privacy law, then we're not gonna allow Facebook in the European Union. And the European Union was like, cool,
all right.
Yeah,
fuck off,
Go
right?
ahead.
That's fucking great. I love that the European Union has more fucking chutzpah than the U.S. government does. When it comes to that, like, data privacy, right? Because they're like, if Facebook's like, if you don't share our data with us, then you can't, blah, 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 blah. And they're just like, yeah, stop being a fucking child. Like,
Dude, no, you're exactly right. It's well, if you don't, man, I don't remember anything from childhood. If you don't call me King Gregory the Ninth, then I won't share my ball with you. Well, all right, I got my own soccer ball.
Okay, great.
I brought a football.
You know what would be even worse is it would be like, what is it, that kid that loses the game and then just takes the ball and goes home? But still, like,
that always made me mad.
Meta stock, right? Oh, sorry. Continue.
Back in Mexico, we had a kid who would do that, so we all just started bringing our own balls, and he got super mad. But fuck you, Xavier.
Damn. Well, just
I
like
don't remember his name.
Just like Xavier's mental downfall, right? 26.5%. Meaning $240 billion in market capitalization. It's the largest one-day value loss in United States corporate history. Like, this beats out, like, the fucking Great Depression. Like, yeah. Like, oh my god, dude. Like, I was looking at this and I was like, yo, great. I fucking hate Facebook. And obviously, since they cater to right-wing shitheads, I'm like, good. Get rid of it, right? Or
what are you talking about? It only has Mexican people on it.
Dude, no, Facebook.
At least from my experience.
Facebook has like an algorithm that's been shown to promote like hate groups and like, some very sussy kind of people. Some sussy. Well,
they're gonna hate my Facebook. It's all my Facebook. Like the language settings are in English, but everything's Spanish. I only use Facebook for communication back in Mexico.
Oh, great. I mean, I only used Facebook when it was back in 2012. Because I've been using Facebook since then. So 10 years, Facebook free. But I...
he's got a little medal. He's so
got a
proud.
little coin.
And we're proud of him. We're proud of him too.
I know. I just got I couldn't stop feeling like I was like being a fucking loser, right? Because everyone was posting about how like they were going out with friends and that they were doing all this other shit.
It's all lies. It's all lies. And I've learned how to lie too.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those things of like, I usually take things at face value, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'm sitting here on the couch watching Ben 10, like just...
Bro, Ben 10 is dope.
But still, like when you're a 19 and 20-year-old college student and you want to hang out with your friends and you're also clinically depressed and a ton of other fucking shit that is mentally wrong with you. And you look at this and you're like, wait, did they not invite me out because I'm like a loser? Aww. Right? And so
I do see how that can happen. Like, especially when you're younger, because the same thing happened to me when I started working out and I saw all these like 17-year-olds that look like JoJo characters.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, no, it's fine. They're all on SARMs.
They're all taking human growth hormone. Like they're getting that Joe Rogan. They're getting that Joe Rogan body. So,
Bro, exactly. I gotta follow Joe Rogan more. I need, what is it? Raw eggs, black tar, alpha brain, and female
vitality, yeah,
vitality.
super
Yeah,
female
yeah,
vitality. Man, you're gonna be
yeah.
like the prettiest girl at the gym. So
I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be like, Barry Bonds, where I just come out to the. He's a baseball player. I just come out to home plate, a giant chest muscle with a bat sticking out of it.
yeah, dude, like it's like one of those cartoony things where you're just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna hit this ball like Babe Ruth, and
Hell yeah.
it sends it into the sun space. Yeah,
It destroys the ISS, and now you're in trouble because there were Russians up there.
oh shit, I don't know. I mean, hey, who knows what's gonna happen with Russia? That's a separate conversation. But shit, dude. You took an interesting time to learn Russian, my guy.
What do you think I've been learning?
Because you're still in drafting age. I just left drafting
shit.
age. Yeah.
Oh shit, really? What's
Yeah.
drafting age in
It's
Russia?
like between 18 to 30 for the United States.
I am. Oh, you know what? Let's take a break real quick so I can open up Duolingo. We'll be back in a second, folks. Something I learned recently that's made me really happy is that chicken wings can be healthy. You just can't fry them in oil. So
Yeah.
No.
Everyone knew that.
I didn't.
How did you not know this?
I didn't. So because like last week, I'm like scrolling through social media, and it's like delicious wing recipe, 200 calories, and I'm like, 200 calories? What are you talking about? That's like 3 wings. And then yeah, it's just air fry instead of oil fry, which is all the difference in the world.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I don't really eat meat, right? So, like, good job, but, like...
You could do the same with
dude,
fries,
like,
potato fries.
yeah, well, still, I am, like, a neophyte when it comes to cooking.
What the hell is a neophyte?
Oh, my God. Robinson, you're in college. What the fuck, my guy?
It doesn't mean... what does that mean?
Dude, a neophyte? Okay, so a neophyte is a person who's kind of new to something.
Just say amateur. Just say beginner, novice, noob, noobophyte.
I'm gonna keep my elitism 100%.
What? I thought when you said neophyte, I'm like, what is that? A Greek god?
I mean,
Is
I guess I don't know. It's not a Greek god, my guy. No, it's not. Still, yeah, no, that like air fryers. Hey, I don't know. Like, I'm just sitting here. Like, I had to get my blood work done the other day for my new physical because I get a physical every year because that's what happens when you're old.
Me.
And I'm saying old. I'm just like fucking 30, right? So it doesn't really matter. But still,
I'll catch up.
You'll catch up eventually. That's the good news about time. That's the good news about time. You will know in time what happens. So, yeah. Still, good thing that you're working out and stretching and shit. Because when you get 30, it gets harder to do those things.
Honestly,
and if you've not done them before,
yeah, I've learned that like if you can keep it going, you can keep it going. But as soon as you stop, it's like impossible to hop back on. And there was this guy at my old gym in Vasa, OMB, Old Man Badass. Dude was fucking 86. And granted, he wasn't powerlifting or anything, but he was 86 and he was doing reasonable weight at the gym. And he was lifting. He wasn't just like biking every day. He was lifting. He was using the machines. Like he said, yeah, I started when I was like 40 and I just never stopped. And I'm like,
fucking based. He's our new like king.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I've seen like 40, 50-year-olds who can't move.
Yeah, it sucks, right? It sucks, and it's one of those things of like it's so difficult to go fucking work out when you've done a full fucking day job, right?
Oh yeah, that's why I go before my job because after work I lose my motivation. But I'm trying to get, I don't want a Greek god body. I want a Hawaiian god body. You know, like you know what I'm talking about.
You want to look like Maui from Disney?
I already have his hair. And speaking of the gods, Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits. Now, we all know you're big fans of these. I'm a big fan of these, even though I've never seen the movies.
Yo, what?
I read the books. Yeah, I've never seen the original Lord of the Rings trilogy.
You've not seen like even the
Uh,
1970s cartoon?
no, I've never seen The Hobbit either. All I know from Lord of the Rings is the first book and like 3 video games.
Guy, like, come on. Like, what the fuck? Like, Tolkien is like driving an Nazgul to where you are right now, dude. Like, you need to get into it. It's such a like the movies that Peter Jackson did. When I saw them in theaters, like middle school Stanley saw them in like in fucking theaters, they blew my fucking mind. Like it was one of those things that like really got me hyped to the fantasy sci-fi genre. Was those movies? So
Well,
yeah,
prepare for more hype because the gaming rights for Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits are now up for auction. So, according to Variety, Saul Zanetzko is about to sell the Tolkien holdings that they've been holding since 1976. So, honestly, that's the news story. That's all there is to it. Some big company's gonna buy the Lord of the Rings IP for like gaming, I'm assuming. And I just wanted to ask you, which video game company do you think should take the Lord of the Rings IP? Like, what do you think?
dude, I honestly don't know. I really feel like they should do like a Dungeons and Dragons version of it.
Okay.
Right? That would be actually a lot of fun doing like a tabletop Lord of the Rings, but like original characters. That would be great. Like I would be okay with it. I'm honestly not sure because my first inclination is also to go, dude, give it to the same people that did Dragon Quest. Like make a Lord of the Rings Dragon Quest. Like I would
That is a good idea, actually.
I would spend $100 on that game. I would buy the special edition. I would buy the collector's edition. I'd buy it for my PC. I'd buy it for my Switch. I'd buy it for my PS5. I don't give a shit. I got adult money now, so I'm going to spend it irrationally on that. But like, that sounds great. Like it would be like 100-hour minimum game, and you get to explore Lord of the Rings shit and do Lord of the Rings things. Like, yeah, I think that would be a great fucking opportunity. I just don't know because, I forgot to mention, right? So I told you that I was going to be playing that new JRPG that I was talking about, the one where it's like, oh hey, it won video game best JRPG, right?
Which one?
So yeah, which one? God, why am I forgetting
I
it?
think I know
Now
what
that
you're
I've been
talking
called
about.
out, I don't know.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's like Sensu, something like that.
No, god damn it. This is gonna actually like make me a little angry. I was like, damn, I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Shin Megami Tensei?
Yeah, Tales of Arise, right?
Ah.
That's it. That's what it is. Because I was blanking on the name, but still, Tales of Arise is actually okay. I mean, they're being really ham-fisted with the whole slavery aspect of it, but, like, because you start off as, like, a slave, right? And you lead a slave revolt, and then you start, like, killing these different princes with magic powers, right?
So I hope it does a JRPG thing where it's like, we just overthrew the slave owners, but real quick, I gotta do the side quest where I have to catch 7 fishes and teach them how to speak Russian.
I know we're about to like fight a planetary war, but let's do a beach episode. Get all the girls in bikinis. Like that's the JRPG treatment, man.
Listen, I get it. My best friend was killed and mutilated by Dark Gahunkus Bungus, the destroyer of planets. But real quick,
He is hungry.
I want to do this mini game where I have to round up chickens.
Yeah, dude. Like I don't know. Like that's such a difficult question because there are a lot of good video games that would do it justice, and it like Warner Brothers Studios really shit the bed with the last Lord of the Rings game.
Didn't
right?
they?
The whole like
Didn't they make a Lord of the Rings MOBA? I'm pretty sure they had.
They did.
Yeah.
Like I just like it was one of those like, yo, what are y'all doing? You're ruining Tolkien's books. Why? Like, dude, I have like such mad respect for Tolkien. And one of the things that I'm going to tell you about this is really going to show you how much of like the historian in me and like the nerd in me kind of like overlap is I was rewatching The Two Towers, and there's that scene where they're fighting a bunch of orcs at Helm's Deep. and they're sitting there and it starts raining, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot that like Tolkien was in like World War One, and that he was in the Somme,
Yeah, no,
which was the bloodiest battle.
I was gonna say, not only was he in World War One, he was in the worst part of it, the fucking Somme.
Yeah, like the Somme was muddy, it was rainy, like the British fired somewhere along the lines of like there were 65 million artillery shells that were fired just in a small patch in fucking the Dutch Netherlands. It is fucking insane. Or not the Dutch Netherlands, but still the Somme. But like, yo, so many people died. Like I think it was like close to God. I'm actually gonna have to look this up because I remember looking at it and I was just like, that many people fucking died. Holy shit! Like so.
Yeah, man. Lord of the Rings is wild.
420,000 British soldiers died in the Somme. 200,000 French soldiers and 445,000 German soldiers. So that's a combined casualty of like what 1.2 million people.
Jeez.
Yo, 1.2 million people died in 140 days.
Also grimly could have that big ass nose.
Right. And so I was looking at it and I was like, okay, does this make sense that maybe like the reason why the battles of Helm's Deep is like so fucking brutal and so fucking long and so fucking tiring is that maybe that he took some inspiration from his like combat experience? And guess what? It turns out that's 100% correct.
Yeah.
He basically modeled the entire Battle of Helm's Deep over his like 4-month like stint in the Somme.
Bro, that's traumatic.
Yo,
that's insane.
Like how that man did not have like PTSD for his entire life, I don't fucking know. Maybe writing about it was his therapy, right?
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think he channeled it creatively. I think that's what saved his soul and his mind.
Yeah, well, because one of the things that saved him from the boredom of like the Somme, and he said this in an interview with BBC, was that he would actually write down like The Hobbit, right? He was writing The Hobbit as he was in the fucking trenches, or he was writing down the history of, Middle Earth. So dude was like just sitting there with a pen and paper, and I'm like, okay, but it's like a textbook. Like there's a fucking history for every tree inside of like Lord of the Rings. It's complicated, and there are even people who like have to like use like spreadsheets to understand like the diverse like hierarchies and even like the background, right?
Basically,
we're talking like biblical studies kind of thing, where like the first book of like the Bible and the New Testament, where they're like, here's the genealogy of Jesus from Moses to Jesus, and you're like, oh my fucking god, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like Abraham 7:3, and Abraham beget John, and John beget Samuel, and Samuel beget, and it goes on for like 7 different.
And every
P's.
single one of those people are important in the Bible too.
Exactly.
So it's not like just like in Lord of the Rings, when you're talking about Faramir and Boromir being the sons of this king, that king had his own story and had his own like heroic journey, right? So all of them do. Like it's just one of those of like, yo, SparkNotes couldn't even make this book easier if they tried. So
it's basically the Legend of Zelda timeline, but with efforts.
Yeah. I also respect the fact that Tolkien also made languages. He made 3 different languages. He made like Elvish, Orcish, and like the ring language, right? The one that is on the ring.
Yeah, so, I think the war fucked him up. Now that you mention it, I think.
Well, I think when the
Jesus
world,
Christ.
I think, and this is kind of.
No, I never thought of it that
I've,
before. He made 3 different languages in a mud hole.
Well, and he wrote The Hobbit with it too. Like provided the background for all this stuff and the detail.
This man is insane.
I think one of the things that I respect about him the most is that when the world was crashing down around him, he built one for him, right?
Oh,
and I think that was a coping mechanism for him.
That's like the most inspirational thing I've heard in a while.
Yeah, I'm not inspirational. I'm not a peachy character. So fucking what do I like? If he just has my utmost respect, like, what is it? When I die and I go into the afterlife, one of my goals is to actually sit down with him and talk to him about like history and language and shit. That would be fucking fascinating to kind of get into his brain about this stuff. Because who knows? Maybe he's in fucking heaven or Valhalla or wherever the fuck he is right now. And he's just sitting there writing. And he's written, like, sequels to Lord of the Rings. And, like, addendums and more histories and more appendices.
And now they're all yours for all eternity.
Yeah. Like, that sounds, like, interesting. It sounds great. Like, I would like to be a dungeon, or play D&D where Tolkien is the fucking dungeon master.
Ooh.
You know how fucking amazing that would be? Like, to have that, like, that person with that creative imagination come up and just be like, you know, take something really complicated like Dungeons and Dragons, like, where you literally have to do homework to, like, fucking play and prepare for the game. And then he's just like, okay, so you enter in the chamber, and he's describing, like, the dead bodies around and, like, you know, all this other kinds of shit and these horrible creatures. And, you know, you get to do reaction and, like, get your character and, like, do that kind of stuff. My God, that would be something I would sign up for 100%. The Catholic Church only needs to convince me that that's what will happen when I die. And I'll fucking sign up for the Catholics, even though I fucking hate the Catholic Church. So, you know, actually, I don't hate. No, I hate them. I hate them. So
why? Okay, never mind. We don't get the time for that.
You don't want me to answer that question right now. I will tell you when we go offline. That is a different conversation. But still, Robinson, my guy, when are we going to play Dungeons and Dragons?
When Lord of the Rings Dungeons and Dragons edition comes out. And back to my original question, I think Epic should get Lord of the Rings and then make a Lord of the Rings Battle Royale.
What? Epic? You want Epic to make it Lord of the Rings?
No.
Yeah, fuck it. Like, if it didn't work with Warner Brothers Studios and EA, it's not going to fucking work with them. So don't sully a good man's name, Robinson.
Speaking of Battle Royales, real life one is about to happen in Deutschland. No, not Deutschland. What's Dutch? Denmark.
That's not Dutch either.
Wait, what's Dutch then?
Dutch is like the Netherlands or Belgium.
All right, the Netherlands and the Belgiums plan to throw eggs at Jeff Bezos' mega yacht. So,
I've heard about this. I am so fucking excited.
So basically, Jeff Bezos was like, hey, I'm going to make a $500 million mega yacht. That way, when the entire Earth is on fire, I can just chill in the Pacific Ocean. And
right.
It's being built in the port city of Rotterdam. Here's an issue, though. There is a very historic bridge there called the Koningshaven Bridge, which I'm probably saying incorrectly, so I'm going to send it to you, and you can correct me right now.
Robinson, I speak German, not Dutch.
How do you say it?
Koningshaven. But then again, I'm saying it as a German would say it, right? So
it's better. It's better for a German than to a Mexican to say it.
Yeah, Koningshaven.
Koningshaven Bridge.
Yeah.
So this ship is being assembled in Albazerdam, Netherlands. It's gonna leave through the post city of Rotterdam. Only issue is they're gonna have to dismantle this Koningshaven Bridge in order to get the 400-foot-long vessel out into the open sea. Basically, this is like the equivalent of of who's an international millionaire. Let's say Pitbull. Pitbull building a mega yacht and being like, we have to destroy the Golden Gate Bridge in order to get it out of San Francisco.
Yeah.
So, over 1,200 Dutch protesters have organized to throw eggs at the boats as it passes through the city of Rotterdam. Which...
Why? I mean, well, no, I get it. Like, fuck
they're
him.
They're gonna egg it.
Good.
Yeah, they're egging it.
But still, like, just don't go through Rotterdam, right? So, like, don't go through Rotterdam. Like, don't do it. Or doesn't he have, like, a smaller yacht that he tugs behind the bigger yacht? Doesn't he also have a helicopter that he uses to get on the bigger yacht after getting on the smaller yacht?
Honestly, they should just use the, do what they did in Kong vs. Godzilla, where they tie 17 helicopters to the boat and lift it into the air.
Dude,
Do you think I'm incorrect? But this is the best way to do it.
It really is. Honestly, dude, I have to say, fuck you, Jeff Bezos. Fuck your Lex Luthor looking bullshit, right? You know, if I never heard about Jeff Bezos ever again, it would still be too short.
Aww.
Like, I just don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like his deal. I don't like his shit, right? I just think it's one of those things of, it's at this point, right? Like, back when he was starting out to be a billionaire, he was still kind of like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do stupid shit. Now that he's got, like, fuck you money, he's just like,
fuck you.
I'm going to do whatever I want. Yeah, he's like, I'm just going to do whatever you want. Like, this historic bridge, meh, dismantle it. I need my yacht to go into the Dutch Netherlands.
Where else am I going to put the yacht?
Dude, just use your helicopter. Like, park it outside.
No.
Right? And then fly your helicopter into the fucking, like, Amsterdam, right? It's not...
No, you don't understand. The laser weapon is in the yacht, and I can't put it in a helicopter.
Dude, I don't know. Like, this bridge is also really fucking tall, too.
It's
like how...
It's 131 feet above water level, but it still might not be tall enough.
Yo, what? Like, I just don't get it. Like, that's the... Why do you need that much boat, right? Why do you need that much boat? Like, what do you need about that has that much boat?
Okay,
right?
honestly, I thought of a fun idea. What you do is the world's longest slip and slide that throws you into the ocean, and then you put a net behind it. That way, like, sharks can't get in, and it's, like, safe. That would be very fun. I want that now.
Yeah, but, like, smaller yachts can do that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
like, smaller yachts can do that.
Yeah, but I want the largest yacht so I can do it the best.
Dude, he might as well just have a fucking cruise ship, right? Like, that's it. That's what he's doing. He's building his own private cruise ship, which is not good for the environment whatsoever, but that's not the point.
No.
I just don't get it, right? Because, like, if I remember correctly, right, didn't, like, the bridge go through, like, some kind of historical restoration, and it's, like, the city promised not to dismantle it after that?
I'm not sure,
or
but
what?
the locals are talking about how this ship is actually, like, super important to the history of Rotterdam. In a Facebook post saying, Rotterdam was built from the rubble by the people of Rotterdam, and we don't just take that apart for the phallic symbol of a megalomaniac billionaire. Not without a fight.
Got him. That's a Dutch burn. The Dutch only burn things in Africa.
Ooh,
but shit, dude, like, that's
a Dutch burn.
A Dutch burn
sounds.
They treated Jeff Bezos like King Leopold treated the Congo. Jesus, that was a burn.
Oh,
good on them. I love. That was a little history joke for anyone who actually understands that. So
the Dutch burn sounds like an amazing one-pan pastry. Ooh. But.
Well, still, actually, I did look it up. So I'm looking at it from NPR. So NPR.org has an article on it, and there's a paragraph that I saw, and it says, it prompted an immediate backlash from locals, lawmakers, and social media users, with the Rotterdam Historical Society pointing out that the city officials had promised never to dismantle the bridge again after completing a major restoration in 2017.
Again, no less. They've already tried.
Yeah, right? And it just, officials walked back their reports, with the mayor of Rotterdam telling the Dutch newspaper on Tuesday that no decision has been yet taken, not even an application for a permit. He also said that the municipality would consider a national application and assess the potential impacts, like whether the dismantling can be done without damaging the bridge.
No, it can't. Dismantle means to take apart. It's a fucking bridge. You can't take apart stone.
It's not so much the stone, it's also the cast iron structure.
Ooh,
right?
That's fancy.
So you don't want to, like, when you set cast iron, you don't want to, like, clean it or remove it or that kind of thing. That's why the restoration in 2017 was a big deal. Because you don't want this stuff to fucking break. Because it is historical and it's to the city, right? Mm. I guess I'm just biased though, right? Because that's my fucking take about anything like historical is just don't fuck with it. Just don't fuck with it. Just leave it alone.
And you know what?
Right? Try to protect it.
You know what? I just came up with some symbolism because in this world we should be building bridges, not destroying them. Thank you.
I'm not going to clap for that. No.
Yes.
Don't clap for him.
I'm so happy to be here at the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards.
Yo, I feel like some green slime is about to hit your face pretty quickly.
Give it to me, Bruce Banner.
But
But
still,
movie.
I don't. I don't know. He fucking angers me so much. Like that would even be a fucking thing, right? I just don't understand. It just, how do you lose that much of your humanity? I guess it's because you're rich, right? They're like, you lose your humanity to get rich, and then you just like forget how to be human again.
Well,
So
yeah, it's that SpongeBob bit, Mr. Krabs. What? I like money, and what inspired you to build a second Krusty Krabs? Money.
yeah, but at least Mr. Krabs like had some coming to God moments, right? Like some actual like self-realization,
I
self-actualization.
mean,
And
he
then,
once sold SpongeBob to the Bikini Bottom's version of the devil for literally 17 cents. So,
hey man, money's money, right? According to Mr. Krabs, that's what he fucking does, right?
uh,
But he's also a fucking cartoon character.
no,
So,
he's not. Don't say that.
this that spoils my appetite. But I mean, the loss would be fucking historical, and that pun was intended.
Oh,
Now,
100%. And we do have more greedy grubbers on our hand.
oh,
So, 5 Olympic skiers were disqualified for baggy outfits. So,
why? Like that's a thing?
yeah, so
The fuck does that? Okay, go
basically,
ahead. Sorry.
right now we're having the Winter Olympics in China. And for the ski jump, apparently the ski jump and in all the Olympic sports, attire is very strict, right? In terms of
Yeah.
ski jump, you need to have like skin tight everything. Because believe it or not, if you have baggy clothing, it gives you an advantage because you can squirrel suit your way while ski jumping.
Okay, but like, don't they have trial runs before this? Because they have the uniforms, and they have to get their uniforms approved by the IOC, right?
Yep. So 5 ski jumpers were all disqualified from Tuesday's mixed team jump event, representing Austria, Japan, Norway, and Germany, and they were deemed that they were too loose fitting. And so one thing that who is this? Oh, Katarina Atlas, a 3-time Olympian and 2018 silver medalist, after she was disqualified, said, "I have been checked so many times in 11 years of ski jumping, and I have never been disqualified once. I know my ski suit was compliant." So, you know what I think?
What?
China's cheating.
What are you talking about? They're just doing socialism with Chinese characteristics.
Bro, I 100% think that they were like, this person's doing too well. Hey, what can we disqualify them on? Baggy clothes?
Dude.
All right.
Man, it's so fucking weird, right? Because it makes no sense because they have to get approval before.
Yeah, 100.
And they have to get approval by like so many different people.
In literally every
So-
sport, because like I've tried going into boxing, so I like read up on everything. Oh, it's so expensive. Anyways, one of the thing is the clothing is super strict. The shorts have to be above the knee, and they have to have a clear line of demarcation, meaning like you can't have like solid black shorts. They can be solid black, but they have to be white at like the ends, at the waist and the thighs, because it helps referees like discern what's a low blow, what's like all that. On top of that, the gloves cannot be brought from anywhere else. You tell the venue what size your hands are. They will make you the gloves, or yeah, I'm pretty sure they make you the gloves if like if it's a championship match, they're making your gloves, right? And then
Yeah.
both coaches are allowed to check the gloves as much as they want. Like before a match, during a match, after a match, all that, right? So I can imagine that this is the Olympics. They're like immediately before they even get there, they got everything ready. So I 100% think this is just China being like, "No." Because if you haven't noticed, none of the banned athletes were from China.
Of course. Right? because they wouldn't act so shamefully.
No,
right?
never. What are you talking about?
They don't want their social credit score to go down.
No, you shut your mouth. You know what you need to do? You need to read the new Shidada book. China.
I listened. I read 800 pages of Shidada. Right? I know what Shidada wants, and Shidada is a fucking awful person.
No, he wants. He said that it was the human rights capital of the world.
You know, dude. Sure, whatever.
What did you say? He said.
I know. He said that like he wanted to make because it was like in his 2017 speech to the Chinese Congressional Party Congress. It was like, we want to show that China can be a beacon for civil rights across the world.
You know, if you're gonna lie, this is what I've learned growing up in a strict household. You can lie, you just have to make it a small lie that sounds believable. Like,
or you have to make it like you have to believe it yourself.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, why did you come home late? I'm so sorry, Ma. Like, honestly, I lost track of time and I got scared driving out in the dark, so I just drove really slow. Yeah, why are you late? You're not gonna believe what happened. Eugenio Debres was at my friend's house. You can't go with the big boy. You gotta go with the small believable. You can't.
Yeah.
God damn it.
But still, like, it doesn't, like, it's one of those things of the IOC had to check them before. So this is obviously cheating.
100%.
Like, this is obviously some kind of foul play. Like, I know, like, there's not really evidence for it or that kind of thing, but, like, I don't know what I just don't think it could be really anything else to that.
Yeah, every athlete has been, like, very outspoken about how much they believe that this is pure bullshit.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, these people train 4 years of their fucking lives, right? Years and years of their lives to do this and get a shot at it and actually try to compete. And it's, like, they're really committed to that. And that's something that, like, I'm actually kind of, like, I don't want to say proud because I don't fucking know them, but, like, it's one of the things that, like, I admire about Olympic athletes is kind of their drive. Like, they have a fucking self-discipline that I could only hope for.
Bro, it's insane. But anybody who's like below 5% body fat is insane. And everybody who's been at the Olympics has never been above like 3% body fat ever.
Have you ever heard of that joke of like there should be like a normal person at the Olympics on top of like
so everybody can see you like the comparison?
Yeah, like where they just have like you and I out there and just like, okay, we're gonna do the 400-meter dash, and I'm just like, I'm out.
I was thinking, I like the idea, but it's kind of a terrible idea because if they send me out there on the high ski jump, I will die. Like, I will not survive.
I'm going to die. Like I'm not gonna live. I'm not gonna fucking live. So great, but. What was it? It's like, I think it would be a good thing to have it, right? Because then it would kind of give those shitheads on the couch that are like, oh, they're not trying hard enough.
He did it. Stick the landing. Stick the landing.
Like what they did to Simone Biles at the 2021 like Japanese Olympics in Tokyo, right?
Who?
Where like you're the gymnast.
It's a gymnast, right? Okay.
Yeah, she's like one of the best gymnasts, like basically in history, and she has medication that was not allowed in by the Japanese government because she has, ADHD, and she takes Ritalin for it, right? But Ritalin is banned in Japan.
Really?
So, yeah. And it has to do with like the usage of like methadone that they would give to World War II fighter pilots in Japan. And when Japan obviously lost, the market for methadone became open, and because it flooded, the military methadone started flooding into Japan. It became like a generational addiction problem. So Japan decided to just make it illegal. And like you can only bring your medication if you have that kind of stuff. You have to get special permission from the government. You got to get a doctor's note. You got to do all these fucking things. And they denied her that kind of stuff. And so she was feeling like with headaches and dizziness, which is a common sign of like not taking your medication.
Yeah,
right?
like I recently had an ADHD, not an attack. My symptoms just got super strong because I stopped taking pre-workout. I medicate with caffeine, right? Because when I was younger, my mom put me on amphetamines, but I started hallucinating, so she took me. Yeah, she took me off of it.
Yeah. Yeah, the people who don't need it obviously don't need it, right? It's one of those of it's there. But like I take some kind of medication like that because I have a sleep disorder, and so when I was younger, I would actually just fall asleep standing up.
Oish.
Or that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I almost did that once during a 12-hour shift.
But still, like, but that was just a daily thing for me. Like, my mom dropped me off at, like, practice once, and I fell asleep tying my shoes.
Ooh.
So they were like, ooh, yeah, you got some fucking issues. So I can understand, like, that. And, like, I was sympathetic towards her. It was like, she decided that she didn't want to compete, right? And so that meant that, like, the United States lost the gold in that event.
That's kind of fucked up, honestly.
Well, the other thing is that, like, people in, like, the United States just fucking railed her for it too. Like a lot of like these shitheads like Steven Crowder started saying like she should have just fucking pushed through it and just done it. She is not a true American. I'm like, yo, fuck you, Canadian Steven Crowder. You're only living in the United States. You were not born here, my guy. So
I mean, that's not the American spirit is to just go home and give up.
No, it really isn't. It's to go somewhere else, take the other person's house, and then claim it was yours all along. That's the American spirit.
That's how you get the good. That's how you get the big bucks. That's the big money.
But still, like, it was one of those things that, like, when I heard, like, or read from, like, NPR that he was, like, doing that and saying these things about Crowder, or, like, Steven Crowder was saying these things about Simone Biles, I was like, yo, who the fuck are you, you little pencil neck shit? Like, that's the thing. She's one of the best gymnasts in the world, and she has more Olympic gym like titles and gold medals than you will ever have. So shut the fuck up, right? Like,
which is one. I don't know how much she has, but nah, that really sucks, and it sucks to see that happening again in China.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't even for the medication thing, right? It was for their fucking clothes. Their fucking clothes.
Too aerodynamic. Look at him. He is like flying squirrel. No.
All right,
Tanuki.
So you want to know how many medals she actually has?
Oh, sure.
She has 25 gold medals, 4 silver medals, and 5 bronze medals.
Jesus Christ, how old is this woman?
She is 24.
Wait, don't the Olympics come out like once every 4 years? How does she have that many medals?
Keeps winning. She keeps dominating.
In
right?
what?
She won in Rio 2016 gold medals in well around vault and floor.
Multiple events.
Yeah, multiple
that makes
events.
sense.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
but
like,
still,
wait, was this woman like 80? How does she 24 times 4? That's 96. How?
But still, she also competes in World Championships, which is not an IOC event. It's like just different, right? But
welcome to Gymnast Mountain.
But still, she has 4 Olympic gold medals, 1 silver and 2 bronze, and then she has like the rest of the golds are like World Championships from like 2013 to 2019.
Japan was just scared.
Dude, she is like one of the best athletes that we've ever produced as a species, or like as a gymnast, right? So I don't even like, she came out of retirement, out of hiatus after the 2016 Rio Games so that she could go compete again. So,
oh man, retiring at 22, how lucky. Unless she got horrifically injured.
Well, because like, and this is one of the things that I wanted to share with you too, is that like, it is about mental health. A lot of people don't understand a healthy person is not just healthy physically; they're also healthy mentally.
Oh, 100%.
And she's quoted, and I'm going to say a quote directly. I say put mental health first, because if you don't, then you're not going to enjoy your sport. And you're not going to succeed as much as you want to. So it's okay sometimes to even sit out the big competitions, to focus on yourself, because it shows how strong of a competitor and a person you really are, rather than just battle through it.
Good for her.
Yeah, and that was a direct, like, fuck you to Steven Crowder. Fuck you, Steven Crowder. So I just don't, like, it's one of those things of, like, they know the pressure that they're under. They do. They're reminded of it every single day that they try to go to the Olympics, right? And she's someone who's, at 24, got, 40 medals? 40 fucking medals. Like, that's a amount of medals. I don't even have like a T-ball trophy. Like, that's the fucking thing.
Where's my
right?
participation trophy? What the fuck?
Like, I recognize that, like, I'm not an athletic person. I can be an athletic person. I just don't enjoy, like, competitive sports because I hate competition, right? So, for me, I just don't... whenever someone, like, talks shit about an Olympic gymnast, it just reminds me of that meme of the nerd, like, of, like, someone in a Victoria's Secret, like, the runway, like, that they show that they do every year, and then there's, like, the next panel is, like, this fat nerd going... Her nose is too long.
I will say this. The outfits at every fashion show is stupid. Well, I will say that, and nobody can convince me otherwise.
Well, yeah, dude, because high fashion is like, we're going to push the limits of what counts as clothing. So
this is...
obviously there's going to be some shitty clothing there, right?
This is a man who I dress completely in an harmonica.
Kind of like whistles as you walk down the fucking runway. And now we have America's Next Top Model. Hey.
I can't believe.
Oh, look at that stylish dress. It also functions as a warning.
I made him wear his clothes backwards, forwards, inside out, and frontwards at the same time. But anyways, China's cheating at the Olympics. You got any more news stories?
Dude, honestly, I'm not surprised. I really am not. Like, it's one of the things of, like, it's motherfucking China, right? Because, honestly, America does a fucking lot of shady shit. But, you know what? Russia is allowed to compete in the Chinese Olympic Games. And Russia got caught by the IOC for doping, like, all of their most of their athletic athletes for the fucking Olympic competitions. Yet, Russia's supposed to not be there, and guess who's there at the fucking Olympic Games? Oh, that's right, it's motherfucking Russia.
Well, because China's reasonable. They're like, we did it. We'll let them do it. We'll let them in there.
No, they're not, because if, like, the whole part of it is that, like, the IOC had passed this ban, right? This ban on the Russian IOC. And that should have been, like, basically they don't go, right? Or they have to compete as individual athletes. But no, Russia as a team still gets to fucking go, so fuck them. And, like, because that's cheating. It is, like, cheating to dope, right? It's not whatever, but still. You know, the contamination of the Olympics, it's just frustrating, right? Because I remember watching the Olympics as a kid. It, like, used to be, like, one of the fun things to do. And I actually liked the Winter Olympics because of biathlon.
It's like 7...
You know what biathlon is?
It's like you do two sports.
You ski, like cross-country ski, and then you shoot a rifle.
Okay, so I was kind of right because I was going to say biathlon is two sports in one.
Yeah, but still, like, biathlon is, like, fucking cool. It's, like,
It's basically Texas if we had snow.
It's sprinting. It's like combining sprinting, and then you have to calm your breath down and your heart rate down so that you can fucking shoot accurately. So,
sick.
Like, you know why that's a sport is because during World War II, when Russia invaded Finland, Finland had a group of Arctic, like, commandos that used, like, white camouflage and skis and would basically, like, use guerrilla warfare and just cross-country ski through the snow while the Russians were struggling, then fucking shoot them with guns and then get back on their skis and go away.
You know that?
And they did.
You know that one thing we did to decimate a country? Let's make it a sport. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, isn't that not football? Whereas, like, gladiatorial games but without swords. Ooh. Still.
Well, you got any last news?
I do actually.
Oh, what's up?
So we know that, like, computer parts have been kind of expensive, especially if you're, like, building or fixing anything. Like, even keyboard parts are going up in price because, you know, what is life? But I have some bad news because, Robinson, have you ever used an SSD?
Yes, I have. A solid-state drive.
Now, you know how fast the SSD is compared to, like, using a normal HD.
It's ridiculous.
Drive, right? Yeah, it's like going between an Apple Mac from, like, 1982 to, like, you know, a modern day computer. But Western Digital has some unfortunate news for us, right? Because WD Black, which is the one that I was, like, trying to think about getting to put in my PlayStation, because, you know, it was recommended, but I saw this news that Western Digital lost 6.5 exabytes or 6.5 billion gigabytes of flash storage due to contamination issues at its NAND production facilities.
Did somebody spill a bottle of Coke? What do you mean contamination issues?
When I used to work at AmeriCorps, right? So I used to volunteer for AmeriCorps, which is like the teaching program where you go to low income schools and then you help them with homework or that kind of shit. One of my coworkers at AmeriCorps, her husband worked for Samsung as like a chip manufacturer. And like when you go into a chip manufacturing, you got to decontaminate, you got to put different clothes on, you got to like decontaminate a third time. It's like a really big process because one speck of dust can ruin an entire set of chips, which would cost the company like thousands of dollars.
This is true.
So, yeah. So the contamination, right, where they're not really saying what was the contamination. They're just saying that it is, but that the contamination could see the price of NAND, the main component of SSDs, spike up to 10%, according to market research firm TrendForce. Any potential NAND shortage or price fluctuations could affect the PC market over the next few months, which had another big year in 2021 despite global chip shortages and demand for GPUs. The contamination of materials used in the manufacturing process appears to have been detected in late January at 2 plants in Japan, with Western Digital's joint venture partner, or I don't know how to spell it. It's Kioxia.
Wait.
Or Kioxia, or something like that.
Kioxoa.
Oh, Xia.
Xia.
Kioxia. Okay, so Kioxia, which was previously Toshiba, revealing that it affected their BICS 3D NAND flash memory. Western Digital partnership amounts to around 30% of the NAND flash market. Both that Western Digital and the other company primarily supply SSDs and eMMC storage drives for PCs. And Western Digital is one of the leading producers of this kind of stuff. They're 30%, they're a third of the market share. So it's not clear what caused the contamination, whether the products on the market will need to be recalled, or when production will resume, Western Digital spoke. It's working closely with its joint venture to implement necessary measures that will restore the facilities to normal operational status as quickly as possible. 6.5 billion gigabytes.
So what you're saying is PC gaming has become more difficult. I can't believe it.
Dude.
How?
Yeah, first,
how?
Best Buy and now this shit?
How? I don't believe it. PC gaming has become more difficult and more expensive? No, impossible. I don't believe you.
Yeah. So, like, let's talk about this, right? So, 6.5 billion gigabytes, right? So, how many terabytes are in a gigabyte, or how many gigabytes are in a terabyte, Robinson?
I'll answer the first question. 0.01.
0.001.
Damn it.
Right? So, a terabyte, right, is essentially like 1,000 gigabytes. Okay? So if they lost, like, 6.5 billion gigabytes? I'm going to get my calculator out for this, right? Because I want to know, like, what the fucking loss is on this stuff, right? Because that's a fucking shit ton of memory storage, right? So, okay. We said 6.5 billion. So, calculator, go. Because I am not a math genius.
Calculator, go.
Divided
by...
Go
get your calculator.
What did we say? 1,000?
Yeah.
So, that's 6.5 million terabytes. Great. Let's look up a Western Digital, like, terabyte SSD, right?
It's like $120, I believe.
So let's just look at like a 1 terabyte Western Digital Blue, right? So a 1 digital or like Western terabyte, dude. And I'm like estimating this, right? So that's $100 or $107.22.
Yeah, it was close.
So 6.5 million terabytes. Times what? $107.22 cents.
How much?
That
how much
is
lost capital?
Are you ready? It's $696,930,000.
That's how much money was lost when the Bitcoin bubble burst.
That's over $500 million. Jesus fucking Christ. Yo, like...
And all because Ron didn't wear a fart guard when he farted.
Oh my god, that would be so fucking funny if that was the actual cause. That would be a great thing. I would pay to fucking see that, like, camera footage.
Bro, it's a comedy movie. Somebody farts and ruins millions of dollars of product.
We just need to get Dane Cook back. Get Dane Cook back. We need him. We need him to do more stupid shit. Just don't steal jokes anymore, Dane. Don't do it.
We got our eye on you. We love you, but you're on thin ice. Good luck, Chuck.
But shit, dude. Like, what is it? Western Digital Black 1 terabyte NVMe SSD for gaming for like the PlayStation has been cut to $99 right now. It was $129. Now it's $99. But if you look at like the 2 terabyte, they don't have any more 2 terabytes.
They were all destroyed.
Yeah, they were all fucking like gone.
Because
right?
Jasmine wanted to show everybody her sand collection at work.
Yeah, dude, Jasmine, come on, like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Just go do something else, right? But still, like, that's insane to me. That's insane that much money was lost.
That is.
I don't know, man.
Honestly,
that's some fucked up shit.
That
That's
is
like
wild.
that's
that is wild.
Oh, shit, dude, I don't know. I need to go fucking cool off for a second because that's not even my money, and I felt.
Well, you know what?
Let's
take a trip over to the cold side of hell. That's where the good news are. And
that's where the traitor Robinson. That's where the traitors live.
In the cold side of hell.
Yeah, have you ever read Dante's
I
Inferno?
thought they lived in Satan's mouth.
No, because the cold part of hell is for, like, betrayers, right? So Satan is a betrayer to God, and he's eating the other betrayers.
Okay, yeah. So
right?
I was semi-correct.
Yeah.
Man, I read...
You were, right?
I read that book in middle school, and I don't know why I was so interested in Dante's Inferno.
Why were you reading it in middle school? What the fuck,
The funny part was, it wasn't in my school library. It was in my public library.
Oh no, we gotta protect the children. Right?
I don't know why I was so interested in the book, and I think it honestly formed my view on morality ever since then.
No, like, dude, it scared the fucking shit out of me when I read it when I was in like 9th grade. So,
see?
Like, it was one of those things of just like I honestly understand, like, it was basically Dante Alighieri like making fun of Italian society, but Jesus Christ, could that man write an actual like world build hell, right? That is so good it actually stands the test of like his Italian Renaissance.
The two ones that scared me were like pre-hell, the entrance of hell, where like you're running after a hummingbird or something while being stung by bees, and then the suicide hell, where you're just a tree that bleeds forever. That shit's dark.
Yeah, or like, well, because like part of it, right, is that he's taken by a Greek philosopher who didn't know Jesus, right? Yeah. So, like, the part of it is that, like, pre-hell, like, not the one you're mentioning, but like before you enter the gates, where like good people who are not baptized get to go, doesn't really sound bad. It just sounds like, well, we're not being tortured.
Yeah, they're just chilling.
You know,
yeah, no, they talk to him, they wave.
Yeah, it's just like, you know. We don't, it's like, if heaven is, you get like a fresh, cold, you know, awesome soda, right? And hell is just basically a bucket of vile. That place is like just a warm Dr. Thunder. Right? It's a warm off-brand soda. And I would rather drink a warm off-brand soda than a bucket of demon vial any fucking day, right?
So, I was gonna say that, like that. I thought that was like purgatory, but it's like, well, don't worry, we have a Subway. Well, that doesn't sound so bad. What else we have? Oh no, that's the issue. We only have a Subway.
Hey, Subway's good.
I love
from time to time.
No,
right?
I love Subway.
Like, it's fine.
But I'll be honest, I ate Subway for like 2 weeks straight, and I'm like, huh. I love it, but I'm getting bored.
Not this much.
I'm getting bored.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm getting bored.
There is no good side of
Shit.
hell, but this ain't the burning hell. This is the cool side of hell.
Well, I mean, like, that's where we are. We're canonically an Aztec and a Viking stuck in hell. So
And
here we are. Like, that's it.
So Shaquille O'Neal, our God, our Savior, says that gorillas freak out when he comes near. And
Dude, he just needs to show him his Gold Bond powder spray commercial.
I nurture my skin. Don't tell anybody.
That part where his eyes go apart always gets me.
So not only does he say that gorillas freak out, a Zoo Miami executive confirms. So on a podcast called The Big Podcast with Shaq, he explains it. He made a joke where he's like, if I get gray hair, I ain't no silver fox, I'm a silverback gorilla. So he tells this story. I've been to every zoo in the world, and every time I go to the gorilla section, they look at me like, hey man, where your fur at? For real, that's how they look at me. They also look at me like, what am I doing in here and you out there? And they always go crazy when they see me. And during the podcast, they got Ron McGill, the communications director for the Zoo Miami. Ron McGill. Yeah, and not only did Ron McGill confirm the story, he took it a step further, that saying that the gorillas are actually intimidated by Shaq. Mr. McGill explains, the gorillas, quote, get intimidated, and he looks at Shaq and thinks that Shaq is going to take away his girls, and he gets tight-lipped and tries to stand up and make himself look as big as possible. But at the end of the day, he backs off. He knows who's boss. So,
Damn.
yeah, McGill, like I said, the communications director for the Zoo Miami, just straight up says that gorillas are afraid of Shaq. And Shaq mentions that this happens every time he goes to a zoo because apparently Jacques really loves zoos.
Dude, there's nothing like going to a zoo after you haven't been in a while. It's actually quite magical to see these fucking
Bro,
animals,
it's beautiful. I love zoos.
especially zoos that like ethically treat their fucking animals. So
I like the ones that have the feeding schedules, and the feeding schedules are made out so like you can see every animal get fed, right? It's not like everybody gets fed at 5 p.m. Pick an animal you like. It's like lions at 3, gorillas at 4, hippos at 6. I love that because I love seeing the hippos just destroy a watermelon.
yeah, dude, like it's magic. It's great. Like I fucking love it. Like it's going to the zoo brings me back to being a fucking kid. So, it's so cool. Like I don't know. Go to a zoo, right? Get outside, right? Which I'll never take my advice because where the fuck is there a zoo around where I live? So
And
I don't know.
Here's the funny thing. The silverback gorillas are about 4 to 6 feet tall. Shaquille O'Neal, well, okay, that's not as impressive. I'm taller than the average. You and I are both taller than the average silverback gorilla. But Shaq is 7'1". So these gorillas are afraid of him.
Every time I need a size comparison, I just compare him and his wife. Because his wife isn't like the size of an average woman.
His wife is shorter than the average woman.
Dude, this is fucking, it's insane. Looking at them two together, it's just like, wow, I can't imagine what living would be like with that, right? That kind of a difference,
Bro.
But hey, love conquers that.
They got that,
and Shaquille seems like a fucking sweetheart too.
Yeah, one of the nicest motherfuckers on earth. So
yeah,
good for him. Gorillas, you stay put, back off. And yeah, I want to end it there. Shaquille O'Neal canonically scares gorillas.
Dude, 100%. Or Shaquille O'Neal gets our first ever. Don't go to hell. You get to go to heaven. Like,
Aww.
I don't know. We'll work on that. We'll work on that, right? But still, you got any special shout outs for who we should meet in hell?
Who we should meet in hell?
Who we're gonna see there?
I'm trying to think. I'm gonna say I say China too much. I always say China too much.
That's because you just don't understand socialism with Chinese characteristics.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna say Jeff Bezos, who is destroying history. So okay, I'll only forgive him if he goes with my idea to build the coolest slip and slide. Like, I'll only forgive him if he does that. I'll forgive him for that one. But if I know he's not.
I still won't.
I know.
That's my.
I know he won't.
Yeah. So yeah, go to hell, you fucking rich prick. And
Shaquille O'Neal,
go hang out with Tolkien. Go hang out with Tolkien. Go play some D&D. Warm the table up for us. Well, don't die yet, but still.
Here's what we're gonna do for you, Shaquille O'Neal. This is how we're gonna do the positives. Is that if we ever see that you even have a possibility of going to hell, like for example, somebody mixes up the paperwork, we will block you from entering the gates. Yeah. We know you're taller than both of us by about a foot.
And I'm literally half a skeleton.
But we will do all we can to keep you out of hell. You're on the watch. You're on the watch list.
You're on the good boys list. That's it. You're on our king list. So still, yeah. I don't know. Maybe we should just call it like the O'Neill, the O'Neill Heaven Award.
The Shaq Award. Yeah, I like that. No, the Shaq Shack. Yeah, that's what I call heaven now.
The Shaq Check. The Shaq Check.
The Shaq Check. The Shaq Check Award today goes to Shaquille O'Neal.
Again. It's not like we fucking talk about it all the time.
Ever since you sent me that video, like, I imagine this where I look out my window and Shaquille O'Neal is there. It's a second story window, but he's still looking at me. He says, "I nurture my skin." And then he appears behind me. He puts me in a sleeper hold that lifts me off my feet. And
you just hear a whisper as you're drifting off into the blackness.
Don't tell.
Gold powder spray.
No, I was going to say, as the darkness consumes my vision, don't tell anybody. I nurture my skin.
Dude, I gotta send you this interview he did on Late Night once where he was talking about being in Phoenix, right? And he was in Phoenix and he was like, I don't have anything in my apartment. So he went to Walmart and bought $75,000 worth of stuff at Walmart. And then he swiped the card and it declined. And then he breathed on it and rubbed it on the shirt like it was a fucking watch. And then he just swiped it again. And then his banker was just like, "Dude, someone stole your credit card. We gotta shut that shit down." He was like, "No, that was me."
That was me.
Yeah.
I gotta get really strong furniture. My gorilla girlfriend.
Well, apparently he bought 6 TVs, and I was like, "Yo, what? Why do you need 6 TVs?"
I understand. I understand. Like in a Mexican household, you gotta have one for grandma because she wants to be alone to watch her telenovelas. You gotta have one for the kids because we don't want them in the room when we're trying to watch, I don't know, Terminator or something. Then you gotta get the one for the living room, right? So 3, I can think of 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Great. Dude, I don't know, still. If I ever meet Shaq in real life, it's just going to be like, I'm going to be a fucking child.
I want a piggyback ride. I have not had a piggyback ride since I was 12.
Oh, yeah. I could have given you a piggyback ride.
No, I hit 6'4" at 12 and I just stopped growing.
Dude, I'll give you a piggyback ride. I'm a strong chap.
All right,
I'm a strong lad. I've raided a few churches in my time at 805.
The next Nerd Hell Live piggyback ride. All right,
dude, it's gonna be a disaster.
That's gonna be it from us.
We're gonna shut the fuck up. Okay, it was all right.
Y'all have a wonderful
Bye,
day
everyone.
now. Bye.
Where can you reach us, Robinson? We forgot that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. So what's another hate group?
What's another?
I don't know
any
hate groups. I assume you do. Well, the Oath Keepers.
I don't know any hate groups. Yeah, the Oath Keepers.
So if you're an Oath Keeper, you can go ahead and message us on Twitter at NerdHellPodcast.com. Wait, no, forget the .com. We do have an email though. If you want to email us at nerdhell at gmail.com. We got everything in the description. Stanley's Twitch, my YouTube. I started a TikTok if you want to go follow that. We're on Spotify.
And if
we're
you
on
are
Anchor.
a hate group,
please message us. I need to learn.
If you do message us, I will send you a one and only autographed photo of an infected dog zit. Because that's what I think of you. But still,
also, if you're not an elf keeper, go ahead and message us. And have a wonderful day, everybody. Find us everywhere. Tell us about your friends. Make us make money so I can do this full time, quit my job, and I can, you know what? I'm going to make my own yacht. I'm going to make the slip and slide yacht. It's probably going to be like 10 feet long though, but still that's cool. A 10-foot long slip and slide that dumps you into the Pacific. Ooh, that's cool.
Dude, fuck a yacht. I'm just going to make a really badass longboat.
That's perfect.
Like a fucking Viking longboat and just being like, great. You need a yacht to be comfortable? Huh. I travel the ocean in this thing.
Yo, that's like the best form of cardio out there. It's a rowing machine, but you gotta fight the ocean.
No joke, I legit actually want a rowing machine. Rowing's a lot of fun, and it's a great cardio.
It's fantastic. It's full body if you do it correctly.
Yeah, so good. Still, we're about to hit like 2 hours, so let's get the fuck out of here.
All for you.
All right, I need to go.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.